There we go.
Catherine, oh, so when did you meet Jesus, or what happened when you met Jesus?
Are you talking to me now or Mary?
Yes. Yeah,
Me?
Hanson. Yeah.
Start over.
Like I say, I was 6 months old. 6 days old in the hospital, and my uncle came up. I was living in Lake Charles then. My mother was, and I think my uncle introduced me to Jesus. He was from Brownsville, Texas, so a minister there, and he would. I guess I've known him ever since. So I talk to God every day and tell him thank you for helping me get up when I get out of a chair or something. I can't, it's so hard to get up, and I think he helps me, and I say thank you, God. And so I don't know. And then my grandfather, my mother's father, was a Methodist minister, and he died when my mother was only 5 months old, and the people across the street adopted her. But and then my husband's mother's father was a Methodist preacher, so I've just been a Methodist all my life, and I think it makes a difference. I've met all my friends, that's all my social work has been in the Methodist church. I've been in the Methodist church all my life, and that's all I can say.
So
I don't want to.
You're born and lived with Jesus all your life.
Well, I think so.
Whatever you do, you talk to Jesus and live with him.
Well,
wonderful.
Amen.
I just appreciate the fact that he's there helping me. And
Okay, how about Louis? Louis, when did you meet Jesus, and what happened when you met Jesus?
I kind of like my mom. I just remember being in, the Methodist church my whole life. So I don't know an exact time. But
what difference does Jesus make in your life?
Well,
he keeps him out of trouble. I can tell you that. He's never been in trouble.
There's mom talking. Let the son talk.
No, he's somebody I can go to if I have problems, so that's always good.
So you can go to Jesus when you have trouble and talk to him.
Yeah.
Okay, great. How about Marian Lee?
Okay, I'm not like other people who have a history of being Methodist and down the line, because my parents didn't go to church, but somehow they had us go. I guess maybe there was a connection because we were going to Chinese school in a church. So then I guess we ended up going to it was a Presbyterian church. So then when we moved out here, I started going to a Methodist church. So I don't really recall when I met him. It's just kind of like.
But what difference does Jesus make in your life?
Like Lewis is somebody to talk to, when you have problems, when you can't figure out something. And then it has given me more. I'm more at peace. And I sleep better. Yeah, my life is much better.
So
I like that.
You have a peace with Jesus, and your life is much better with Jesus than without.
But I wish I realized this long time ago instead of right now when I'm so old. I wish I had the peace long time ago.
Okay, so you want the young people to know that it is better to live with the Jesus.
Yeah, start when you're young. You're better off.
How about Irving? Do you have any testimony?
My mother was a Methodist, and I grew up in Stockton and Confucius Hall, and we met, as far as I could recall, back in the hall until we were able to buy a church. And the first time I really felt Jesus' presence one day was when I was taking swim lessons, and I sank to the bottom of the pool. And I recall, I say, how am I going to get out of this? And all of a sudden, this pole came down right in front of me. The coach put a pole there and pulled me out. But actually, there's a person you've heard of, Pastor Lee, Adam Hamilton.
Yes.
He wrote a book about Moses.
Yes.
And since I first started going to a church in the hall, I used to always wonder about all these elaborate churches and all this kind of stuff. And I always thought it was a waste of time and money. But since somebody suggested we read Moses, Steve Pearce, I realized that, hey, Adam Hamilton said there's more about building the tabernacle than the plagues. And then it made me realize, hey, I go to church to get my batteries recharged every Sunday, to see you guys. Even if I sleep in late, when I turn on the recordings, it still just kind of recharges me, the people, being in the faith group. And then I realized, hey, the tabernacles, the tent was built for God, and that's where we really go to find God. It's not just staying at home like some people think it's okay to stay home and pray and not attend a church, but you need to have the fellowship, the three or more people talking about Christ, and that's how I find God or Jesus every Sunday. Like I said, even if I sleep in late, I can always go back to the recordings, and I love it. But that's how I think.
Okay, so Jesus gives you new resources. You can be recharged through the
Yes.
No? Okay.
He's my 210 or 420, whatever.
220.
Very good. Yeah. And the neat thing about the recordings is if you think you've missed something, you can go back and watch it again.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to watch a choir real closely.
That was so neat.
I know, you need to see everybody there.
And Sandy, you already shared your testimony, but
Yes.
what would be your response to Catherine Hensley, Louis Hensley, and Irving and Marian Lee's testimonies?
It's interesting how you kind of, if you grow up in the Methodist Church, you tend to respect the Methodist Church and the Methodist beliefs.
Yeah.
And a lot of people move off and go to, Presbyterian. Very few people leave the Methodist Church and go to the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
The liturgy is really very different. The theological background there. I had a lot of friends. I married a Catholic, and we've been married for 54 years now.
Wow.
And he's a good Catholic Methodist. But it's the same there. Once a Catholic, always a Catholic. That's what I was thinking. And so for me, Catherine, my grandpa was a circuit preacher in Kentucky. And I read an article not long ago in an old Bible I found about him and how he would hit, 3-4 churches in a day. And my grandma was saying that he came home one day and his foot was frozen to the stirrup.
Gee.
His shoe was frozen to the stirrup.
Yeah.
So it wasn't that he was hopping in a car and riding around.
Yeah.
He was hopping on a horse
Yeah.
and riding around.
Yeah.
So
That's right.
the stories come out and make it, that's why the Bible is there and why that Bible challenge you were talking about this morning works so well, is because there's the stories and you can read the Bible literally. Like I said, begats are not my favorite.
Yeah.
But then, like Pastor Lee said this morning, there's a reason for everyone in the chain. And if someone weren't in that chain, then the chain would be broken.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad we're all looking to Jesus for the answers to our problems.
Yeah.
I do.
Thank you so much for these testimonials and sharings. I will share it with other church members also.